In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at the FileFlow Adobe Air client as an interface to Smartflow. So here we're logging into the smartflow.biz site with our user ID and password. Click Login. First thing you're going to see is your user task list and a series of tabs depending upon the role that you've been assigned. You may or may not see a job board. The job board will have a pull down that will allow you to save different types of searches on the job board, and it will give you a job search capability, and if you're a project manager and member of the host, you'll be able to search across any affiliate and their jobs. Also give you an asset search capability, and again, as a project manager and member of the host, you could look across all of the affiliates and search for assets associated with a specific affiliate. Affiliate 2, client Rolex, jobs that are currently running, looking for assets of different MIME types, show me everything that is either a JPEG or a PDF or all assets associated with it, leave it blank, and then just simply run an asset search. Basically, you'll, depending on the size of the search, it may take a few seconds to load and display the attachments that relate to that search. You also have the ability to start jobs, and again, you need to be a project manager to do that. If you're a member of the host, you could start jobs for any affiliate. Moving across, you have the collaboration capability. And in this case, you can start and monitor your own collaborations and participate in collaborations that have been assigned to you by other users. There's a calendar function that allows you to monitor jobs and tasks that are due, as well as collaborations. There's a report function that gives you different types of reporting, and you have a set of tabs here: time and materials sorts of jobs. If you look at the Smartflow area, get the billable jobs for Smartflow, or get the billable jobs for BizFlow. You get a list of the jobs that are available. You can go in and say, I want to look at this particular job and get a time and materials report for that job. You can see at the agency create side, we've got some time and materials. Every user has a preferences area. This would allow you to, for example, determine whether you want email notifications turned on or off. When you're looking at your task list or your job board, which columns do you want to see listed in the job board view or the task view? And if you're a project manager, these are the different teams that you could assign to perform tasks in various workflows and jobs, and so you pick the team that you're going to start a job through. There's also logs, and the logs essentially have a search capability to look for different kinds of activities. These are the workflow activity logs, and then if you come across to the digital asset management panel, you'll see that there's another set of logs here, and these logs have to do with managing the digital asset management system and various activities related to digital assets. You can also manage groups in the digital asset management arena, and these are the groups that you would create and share access to archives and collections with these groups. New collection automatically shared with the CHALEX group. Collection will come into the system and be set up so that anyone in the CHALEX group would automatically see that collection. And we come over to views, and if we wanted to look at collections, and we came down here and said want to look at the various collections, here's a new collection, it's an empty one. Here's a sample collection. It's got different types of assets in it. You can see we can scroll quickly through the various asset types. You can kind of show the controls over here and change the view of the asset you're looking at as you scroll back and forth through the windows. If you click on any of the assets, it'll give you a little preview. Hold down the command key and click on the asset, and if it's for example here, this particular asset on the wakeboard, if I hold down and hit the command key, it will take me directly to the YouTube asset on YouTube and play the file directly for me. Just delete out of that, back to file flow. So this gives you kind of a quick overview of navigating across the various tabs. If we go into an archive, so if I come down here and I take, for example, my Rolex gallery, you can see that as I mouse over any of the thumbnails, I get information about who has access to be able to search for this particular file. I have the ability to bring it up and actually download the file, and so that's a high resolution download of the file. I can look and see how many versions, in this case one version associated with this asset. Some of them will have more than one. This has two versions, and I can see an older version, as well as the current version. You also have the ability to download the attachment, and so you can simply download to the desktop. Let's not do that right now. You can do a tag search. This is got a tag Rolex associated with it. If I come down here to tag search and I find Rolex in my list of tags, it'll be down under R. There's Rolex. Click on it. All of these assets then have been tagged with the Rolex tag, and you can see some of them may have more than one tag associated with it. And so if I let's say that I look at tag here, Rolex. If I want to add a tag to it and say I'm going to add beach to this, I'll add that tag. Now if I want to search for a tag search that is both Rolex and beach, I can type that in here, comma BEACH, and search and get that particular asset that has both Rolex and beach. So you can use tags for simple searches quite easily. If we come back to archives and go back to our Rolex archive, you can see this particular asset has a magenta bar under it. Status means that it's been annotated. This particular asset has had annotation or a markup. Hold down the shift key, click on the thumbnail. The system will launch the annotation tool, and here we can see that we have the ability to annotate the file. And if I come in here and mark up an area of the file, we automatically get a pop-up that says, let's say that we want to crisp the dial on the watch, and we add that note. One could reply to it and update, and then if we quickly go back to file flow and do a refresh of the screen, we can see the annotation comes up in the refresh as well. You have a comment log for every asset. This one has a comment associated with it. We can see the two comments. Crisp the dial, was the last comment we put in there. That was part of the annotation. Before that, we had sharpen the type. Same type of comment, obviously. Same sort of scenario down here. Multiple comments. These are all happen to be, well, Jeff made a comment. Murray made a lot of comments. If you come across here, this is adding an asset to a collection. So if I wanted this asset to be in my sample archive collection, click on sample collection, add the asset to the archive, come back down to collections. Let's get this out of the way, and we can look at my collections, sample collection, and if we sort of roll through, we can see that we've brought these assets into the collection, and here they are in the collection. Easy to share a collection. Just simply take this URL, copy it, pop it into an email. If I go to my email client, say I want to send myself an email, sample collection, and simply drop in that tiny URL, send that to myself, come back in, here's my sample, there's the tiny URL in the email, click on it, takes you right to the entire archive that you have here. And you can see, we've got lots of different types of assets. If you hold down the click on the asset, it'll actually, this is a video, it'll play the asset right there. If you want to download it, hold down the command key and download the asset. Easy, secure way of sharing access to a larger group of files. If we come back to archives, we can continue down the list of activities on the toolbar. Anytime you make a change, you just want to update, that will refresh the system. If you select an asset and you want to delete it or remove it from the system, simply select. This is going to remove it from this archive. It doesn't remove it from the system. So it's still available if it's being used somewhere else. It hasn't been taken away from the system. You have to select an asset to work on it. You can select all of these assets and say I want to add a comment to all of them or a tag to all of them. So if I come in here and I say I want to add a tag, and I can say this is the Spring Rolex campaign. That's the tag I'm adding, and I'm adding that tag to all of those assets. So if I come back in here and I look at the tags after it refreshes, we see every one of these has a Spring Rolex campaign associated with it. So this has kind of been a quick overview of how you navigate the toolbar within the galleries. Gives you the ability to manage archives and create archives. You can manage and create groups, and there's another video that goes into more detail on that, and how you navigate back and forth into the job section of the system. Go to the job board and add job search, add job asset search, or start jobs. So it's very simple to navigate the system. Look for the panels and simply pick various activities to play with the system and learn your way around.